Alrighty, here I come, back into frame, hopefully again, trial and error as we go along. Welcome to TheWayIZeeit, and if you've been watching, you would know exactly what this platform and vlog is all about. I've covered quite a range of subjects, mostly easy things, discussing sex, religion and politics, mostly politics. But I'm here basically today not to talk about any of those. I'm here to introduce myself to you. If you have been watching and if you like what you're seeing and you're wondering, who is this woman, highly opinionated woman that wants to say all these things, who does she think she is? At the end of the day, I'm available on the internet. I have a social media presence. You can find me anywhere. I'm not trying to hide anything. If I have chosen this particular vehicle to project what I have to say to the public, I really have nothing to hide, and you are more than welcome to go and have a look at my very open book Facebook account. It's open to the public. I have a Twitter account and I have an Instagram account. But basically, I'm here to introduce myself to you today and just to tell you a little bit about myself and how this came about. Look, I've always had something to say. Highly opinionated, yes. And in fact, if I think about it, I remember, I think way back in the day, even when I was much younger, the word opinionated always had a negative connotation. As far as I remember, I think, people used to say, "You are so opinionated." They used to say it as an insult. And I remember that always being the case with me. I've always had an opinion on so many things, and I thank God for that, because, and I know there are many other people out there like this. I just have, instead of just having opinions, I decided to voice mine. Now literally voicing it to an audience out there, and also via video. But my first and foremost way of voicing my opinion and making myself heard on certain subjects was to write about them. And I remember as a young adult, many of the things that I felt aggrieved about, particularly possibly social injustice or matters that I seemed unfair, or even the media itself, which unfairly covered a certain story, I would pick up the pen and go, "Dear editor." And I was lucky, always there was always someone on the other side of that letter that thought whatever I had to say was willing to be shared with others. And I've always had a narrative way of writing and a style of writing that people responded to. For as long as I can remember, whenever I would write something and it was published, which was most of the time, possibly 90% plus, of the time when my articles were published, is that people responded so well. And for many years, when I worked away from home and I left my local community, I continued to write and communicate with my community from the United States through the medium of community newspapers. And it was so wonderful to know that that is being read, because when I eventually returned, I've always, one thing you can never deny about me is I've always stayed in touch with my roots. I don't really care about people who has risen up on the ladder and forgotten where they've come from. I really have no respect for that kind of people. I grew up in Hanover Park. Hanover Park was, and still is unfortunately today, an area that is as cliched as everything. Gangster-ridden, teenage pregnancies, low income, all of it, all of the above, socioeconomic, at the lowest rung of the ladder. But I came from there, and I'm proud that I've come from there. The lessons that I've learned from Hanover Park and the people that from Hanover Park is absolutely wonderful. My primary school and my high school is where I got my education, in Hanover Park. And for many years, I still continued to go back every month or so, or every 6 months or so, to go back to the house where I grew up in. And if I would walk or park my car and go to my closest neighbor, which was right next door to me, I would go there and I would get shouted across the road, "Don't think you cannot come in here. Yeah, we see you. Yeah, Zaida." And it was wonderful to be recognized, still in a community, because one of the things that I never forgot was the simplest things, the respect, the greeting of your neighbor, greeting every morning, every night, and even up to the children. I've always greeted children and acknowledged their presence. And so as I grew up and older, I would walk past, their houses, and they would greet me in turn. And it's a wonderful sense of respect and acknowledgement, and of people knowing who you are. And then, of course, some of them would call me into the house, and I've got to come in, and they'll say, oh, go fetch the articles there, Zaida. We kept all the articles that you wrote from America. It was amazing, So the fact is that I've always written half and half, I think, for myself, but also knowing that there is a reader or a listener out there that would like to know or read or identify with what it is that I have to say. And this is no different. I'm saying things, and that's why I call it also Let's Be Frank. I'm saying things that people want to say, but they don't have the voices or the opportunity or the know-how to say how, or they do, but they just don't know where to project it to. And I would like to use this platform to do so, to project my own voice, my own issues from the way that I see it, but also from people that I speak to, and bring their voices through me, channel them through YouTube to you. So yes, that's basically how it started for me, writing about issues in the community, in the country, elsewhere in the world, writing about it, people choosing to publish those, and people responding to that. This YouTube channel and this platform, TheWayIZeeit, is exactly the same thing. I'm choosing topics, or I'm choosing things that I feel very passionate about, and I'm talking about it. And I really think that as South Africans, we really should start talking to each other. Not just around the dinner table at night amongst only your group of friends, or not only just amongst your socio-economic group. Look, we have come a very long way. But to be honest, we have even further to go. And if we are to walk this path together, we need to start talking to each other. We need to start communicating with each other, not above each other, not beyond each other, not below each other, but directly talk to each other. This is my way of starting that dialogue. So I hope you'll come on this journey with me. I hope you like the way I see it. And I hope that you don't mind the fact that we will be frank or not. So keep watching, and I'll see you on the other side. Bye.